Yeah, hello and welcome to. We're still on day 4 of the application development, and in this video, we'll be looking at navigation. Now, we're going to be taking navigation, but we're not going to be going in depth into navigation. So, most of the things you're going to be trying to do is just to follow along, try and see how you can like say memorize some of these long commands, which is going to, as time goes on, you go into the full course, we'll be explaining to you how all those things work behind the scenes, because there's still a lot to cover on that and there's still a lot to cover on Flutter. Now, navigation is like moving from one page to another. And before you can start navigating, you have to make sure that you've created these pages separately. Now, if you notice on my application here, I have created the main widget, which all my pages are going to navigate inside. And if you notice, everything stays under this material app. And what my material app is looking for is the home, the starting. Like when you get to your website, that's index.html. So that is what we're going to be needing here. So for me to do that, I'm going to create two stateless widgets down here. We did it in the previous video, so I'm going to say stateless. STLS. So as you can see, we have stateless widget. I'm going to call this one home. Now, what is going to return will not be a container or anything. So let me come and put here as home. Now, can you see that it says the home should be this one here. So once I save it now and I restart it, some hot restart, you can see the screen is black. There is nothing there. It's kind of void. Now what I'm going to do now is, instead of returning the container, because this container does not have any color, so except I say colors dot white, that is when you're going to see the white color, but we don't want that. Instead of us to return a container, we want to return a scaffold, because it's a scaffold that has app bar, body, and bottom navigation. Material app has the box show checked mode banner and the home. So we're going to return a scaffold, and the first thing we want to have is the app bar, and the first value the app bar takes is the first widget it takes is the app bar, like this. Then we have the title. The title takes a text widget, which we did, and I'm going to call it home page. And I'm going to save it. I'll make sure I put, I'm going to save it now. Then I'm going to reload the page. We can see we have the home inside here, right here. So once we've done that, the next thing we want to do now is we want to add the body. So we're going to say the body. And inside the body, we're going to have a center. We just want to put a text inside, a center. Now the center has a child, and we're going to use a row, a column, because we want two child there. So inside the child, I'm going to put a column. We've done all of this, so if you don't remember, you can go back. This column takes a children. The first thing I'm going to put is text. Then I'm going to put home page, like this. So the next thing I want to put there is an elevated button. So as you can see, we're going to put the unpressed as this, and the child, we're going to make the child a kind of text, and I'm going to put next. Let's just put, instead of next, let's put settings page. So I'm going to save it now, and you see we're going to have two children here. Just to edit the, what is I calling it? Just for us to edit the, so that it can be at the center, I'm going to come to the column after the children. So I'm going to come to the column. I'm going to say the main axis alignment. I'm going to say the main axis alignment dot center. I'm going to say the cross axis alignment, which I'm going to say the cross axis alignment. So dot center. So this should put it in the center of the page. Here we have that. So what we want to do is that when we click on the settings page, we want to go to another scaffold, another page. So I'm going to create another stateless widget, I can just copy and paste this. So I'm going to copy it. So you can do that. Also, I'm going to paste it here. But instead of home, you can see it's giving me red because we have created one that is home. I'm going to call here settings. Now make sure that I change the const home here to also settings like this. Then I want to remove the elevated button. I don't want any button on the settings page. I'm going to make here settings. Should I make here also settings? I also need to make this place home. Yeah. So we have 2 pages. Each of them have their own scaffold and app bar. So I'm going to show you now. So I'm going to change here from home to the next one, which is settings, like this. Then as you can see, we have the settings page. So the home page became the settings page. I can remove here and I can say the home page should be the home. So we created 2 stateless widgets. So what we want to do is that when we click on this button, we want to go to the next page. And we're going to come to the button here. This one pressed. We don't need any set state. Set state is to change the value of a variable inside a stateful widget. We don't need a set state. Now what we want to have to do is there's a command, there's a kind of code you have to write. Most of us might not understand it, but we're going to explain in the next video. So we'll call it the navigator. So you can still memorize this one till we when you come in for the standard class. We're going to explain all of this. So the navigator dot off, it takes a context. Then we have dot push. Now this push takes a material page route. Now inside this material page route, you want to remove the, what's it called, you want to remove this builder, and we're going to have a bracket here, and I'm going to say the build context space, and I'm going to put context. Yeah, so I'm going to put, I can use the arrow, but let me just use this one. So now this arrow is like, what do you want to push it to when you click on it? Then I can say I want to push it to the settings page like this. So don't forget to put your this stuff in here. So we don't need this comma here. I don't need this one. The context, I'm going to remove one of these. So this is how we have it. So let me just format the document so you can see what is going on here. So as you can see, on pressed, we have the navigator.push material page route build builder. So it might be confusing, but what you should memorize is this stuff and the name of the page you want to push it to. So this setting. So if you create another page like about us, you create another page like for us, you can have that. So I'm going to save it. I'm going to reload this. Now, if I come into the button now, I have 2 pages, the settings and the home page. So once I click on the settings, you can see that, the page is going to come over it. You might not see it. It might be too fast. So let me just reload. I want to see if I've changed the, okay, so this is the home page. The minute I click on the settings page, we have the settings page. And if you notice, there's an arrow button here. So Flutter already knows that there is a page on top of your page. So once I go back to the previous page. Every app bar has that navigation. So it's like an history, putting a page on top of a page. And if Flutter gets to know that there is a page beneath, the arrow will come outside. You can disable the arrow, but for, so that you can be able to go back, you can see we have this. And the page is, moving from the one page to another page. And note, you can have a bottom navigation here if you want, and you can see transition within pages there. So that's that for the navigation when it comes to Flutter. And yeah, it might be a lot to take in, but as I said, you can just try, copy this somewhere, although it's going to be in the handouts you're going to have, copy it somewhere and make sure to have it. And yeah, it's going to help for now till you take more courses, more tutorials on that. You understand what is going on, what is happening within this Navigator of context. I don't want to go into something that is going to confuse you entirely, but once you have something that is working, we're going to try and be building. You're going to be trying and be building a simple app. So we're going to be dropping assignments of the task you are supposed to do and submit it on the platform. So thank you. My name is Emeta Victor. I'm going to be seeing you in tomorrow's class, whereby we'll be making some conclusion, doing some analysis, some tests, and we're going to be building our application that we've created. And don't forget to follow me on every social media handles that is out there. I still remain Emeta Victor Python B, and I'll see you in the next class.